If the Jets beat him, J.P. Shadrick.
And welcome in. It is Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. J.P. Shadrick with you. We've got a busy program ahead, of course. On Monday, that means Pete Prisco and Tony Boselli are right around the corner. Pete Prisco, the CBS Sports senior writer. Tony Boselli, Mr. Jaguar, I guess. Urban Meyer press conference review. The head coach spoke today in his normal Monday spot. The Bengals over the Jaguars recap from Thursday Night Football. The Jaguars had the mini bye weekend over the weekend. We've got plenty of social media questions. We'll get to those in the second hour, and we'll go around the National Football League. Let's start today with the biggest news of the day. Urban Meyer's normally scheduled Monday press conference at 11 o'clock this morning. Topic number one in the press conference today, his explanation of the video and photos that surfaced on social media over the weekend.
I just apologize to the team and staff and for being a distraction. Just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it, and just stupid. Should not have myself in that kind of position. No, I stayed to see the grandkids, and we all went to dinner that night at the restaurant. And then there's a big group next to our restaurant, and they wanted me to come over and take pictures, and I did. And they were trying to pull me out on the dance floor, screwing around, and I should have left. Well, I've always been so defensive of them. I remember when Trevor told me he was going to go to Vegas for his bachelor party. I was just, my gosh, man, be careful and surround yourself, and because I've seen this happen. And so the team, I spoke to a bunch of leaders one-on-one, spoke to all the players. They're good. They were focused on Tennessee, and I apologized again for being a distraction. And a coach should not be a distraction.
That's head coach Urban Meyer earlier today. Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli joining us now here on Jaguars Happy Hour, as they do each and every Monday. Tony, good afternoon. What are your thoughts?
JP, how you doing? What are my thoughts? He addressed it. He owned it that it was a mistake. The biggest issue to me is that it is a distraction. And anything, because coaches harp on players all the time. Do not be a distraction. Don't be the story. Don't take away from what the team is doing and what we're trying to accomplish. And he did. But you know what? He owned it. He said it was a mistake. I'm not going to dive into the morality of whatever. That could be done on another talk show at another time. Or if Pete wants to dive into that, he is more than welcome to. From the football side of it, I guess the only thing that I wonder is, you're 0-4, not flying home with the team. Now, if it was part of the policy that any player or any coach could stay back after the game and not travel home with the team because they're going to have 3 days off, then great. If that was what the team decided, that's fine. But I just think it's just not a great look, more than anything, and it goes back to the distraction. But as far as I'm concerned, he owned it. He apologized. He apologized to the team. I thought it was interesting the media asking if he apologized to his family. Again, that's his business. How he deals with his family one way or another. And as far as I'm concerned, it should be over. Let's move forward. Because the bottom line is this team needs to focus on winning football games, and they need to figure out how to win games because they're 0-4 right now, and they play a Tennessee Titan team that's going to come off a bad loss and looking for a win.
Pete Prisco, good afternoon.
Yeah, stupid is the right word, and he used it a bunch, and it's appropriate in that situation. Again, I'm with Tony. I'm not getting into the morality of what he did and what he didn't do, but, look, he went to a restaurant. That didn't look like a restaurant to me. I can tell you that right now. It looked like Party Central. And whatever he did, that's his business. My problem is a lot like what Tony said. Your team got beat on a last-second field goal to go to 0-4. It's a gut-wrenching loss. And you don't get on a plane and go home? And I'm trying to think of instances where I can remember a coach not going home. And the reason I say that is, okay, maybe if you stayed behind, you were part of the scouting staff, and you had a game at Ohio State you wanted to watch, you might stay behind. But you go home with your team. And you get home with your team and you go to work on Friday to start fixing the damn thing. Now, if you want to spend time with your family over the weekend, that's fine, but you do it at home. You don't stay in Ohio, and he's out and about in a pink Ohio. It looked like a red Ohio State shirt. It wasn't the Jaguars gear. It's just a bad look. Forget about what was going on. It's a bad look from a football coach to be doing that in the middle of the season. Even if you want to stay and see your grandkids, you could have saw them the night before the game. You could have saw them after the game, during the game, before the game when they walk up and say hello. Got the whole offseason to see them. And it didn't look like there were any grandkids at that place. I can tell you that right now. So I just don't like the explanation. I don't like the optics of it. Morality-wise, that's not for me to judge. That's not for Tony to judge. That's for other people to judge in his inner circle. But from a football standpoint, bad look, bad optics. And oh, by the way, what in the hell did he drag Trevor Lawrence into it for? I mean, my God, poor guy. Watch out on your trip to Vegas for your bachelor party, buddy. I mean, come on. You can't. Yeah, but now, no matter what anybody does, I'm going to Vegas. I'm going here. Well, be careful. You can't tell him that. It's done. It's over. Well, you can't tell him that.
Yeah, but Pete, would you agree, though? He addressed it the only way he could, just head on. He apologized. I mean, I think the story's over now. Now, let's hope, nothing more comes out. But hopefully the story's over. You move forward. You look towards Tennessee, because the one thing you can't allow this is to become a distraction. Because this is a football team that has lost 19 straight games. Now, only 4 of them under Urban, so you can't put the other 15 on him. But the last thing you want to do is be worrying about stuff that does not matter. Now, it might matter to him, it might matter to his family and everything else, but it's over. It's in the past. You have to move on. And to me, he addressed it. And so there should be no more questions. There should be nothing else to talk about. And it should be all Tennessee moving forward. I mean, I guess I'm asking you, if you were the beat writer, you got what you needed today. Is that it? Are you done? Is it time to move on?
No, the next step is to ask the players what they think about it. No, you're not done. There's a story in the locker room. Your coach is being photographed the day after a game in that situation. Of course it's not done. The problem is there's no more beat work being done. You can't. I feel sorry for the guys that cover the beats in this league now, because you can't go to the locker room and talk to guys. But you can wait in the parking lot. And no, that story is not done. The next part of it, it's not a big deal, but the next part of it is, as a football player, when you see your coach doing that, what is the reaction to it? And 9 times out of 10, guys will go, we didn't care. It's done. It's over with. But you might get 2 or 3 guys that say it was a little disturbing to see a guy who's setting policy and discipline in this building being undisciplined. Because that's what it was. It was undisciplined. He was not being disciplined. And could you ever imagine if you guys flew home and Tom stayed behind and you saw videos like that? In your wildest dreams, it would have never happened. Never. But if it had happened, the difference between, I give Urban credit. Urban always hits it head on and tries to make it go away. Tom used to let stuff, he'd never say anything, and he'd let it fester to become a bigger story as you went throughout the week. You know how Tom operated. Oh, no, he wouldn't say a word about it. He asked a question, he'd get all belligerent, and it would never get answered, so the story became bigger and bigger. Urban, to your credit, you're right, Tony. He just said, okay, move on. Let's go. I did it. Let's go on. And that's kind of smart on his part. But again, considering all the baggage that's followed him around, there's a pattern there. I mean, there's a big-time pattern there. And at some point, you got to look in the mirror and say, what am I doing? You know, you just got to focus on being a football coach.
Yeah, how much of that, Pete, that's a great point. I didn't think about that. How much has the stories from Florida and Ohio State fed into this being a bigger story? I mean, twofold. One, you're an NFL coach. 2, you're Urban Meyer, one of the most sought out coaches, successful football coaches, regardless of level in the history of the game. How much of it was, what has happened in the past where this became even maybe a bigger story than it would in other places?
Yeah, probably. And here's the other thing. If it's Cliff Kingsbury the night after a game stays behind and he's in the club and he's doing it, you might sit there and you say, yeah, okay, that's Cliff Kingsbury. And by the way, Cliff Kingsbury's not a married man. You might say, okay, you still would rip him for not taking part in the football side of things, though. But I mean, this guy, I couldn't tell by the video, but the poor girl looked like she was like 19. I mean, there's a problem with the whole thing.
Yeah, but okay, listen. I want to stick to the football side of it, where we started, Pete, because I think that's the bigger story.
But you said by a head coach looking in that, if a head coach, if you saw, is it a bigger story because of his track record? Okay, Cliff Kingsbury has a track record of being out and about with models, and he's a playboy in his own way. So it wouldn't be that big a story because of who he is.
But I like your point better though. It would still be a big story if it happened after they lost 4 in a row on the road. Everyone else flew home, and he's staying out in the city that he just left, having a good time.
Right.
I think that's my point. It's a big story because he's an NFL football coach of a team. Whether I think it's magnified when you're not having success. I think it becomes even a bigger story.
But there's also a pattern of stuff going wrong in Jacksonville. I mean, let's be real. You had the strength and conditioning coach, bad look. Your special teams coach, whatever happened there, bad look. You got, the bullhorn and everything else that goes on, and the players not liking all that stuff. Coaches, not really feeling warm and fuzzy with their head coach. I mean, and that doesn't happen everywhere. I mean, some of that stuff happens everywhere. But it just has been a pattern of that stuff, and this kind of adds to it. And if you're a player, Tony, okay, you've been in locker rooms, you've been on teams. What are the players saying?
I mean, at what point do you put that away and focus on the game coming up? That's
well, you go play football, you get it, but there's going to be an endless stream of.
Right.
But Pete's right. Let me tell you what. There's a lot of jokes in the locker room. There's a lot of comments being said in the locker room. That's where I always go back. And I was saying this morning with Dan and Jeff, I said, I don't know how to explain it, but this stuff just becomes a distraction. It takes a life of its own. In any moment, a team or a locker room is worried about something else besides the game at hand, it's a distraction. Now, there's always a lot of banter in a locker room back and forth. Now, and maybe it's not as much as it was back when, I played, Pete, but could you imagine if this happened in our locker room?
No.
There'd be jokes, there'd be stuff on the board. I mean, there'd be comments made.
It would be, and the next day when I was in the locker room, I would have had 10 guys telling me great lines, whether off the record or on the record, on why it happened. And it's okay. Let's think about this. Remember when the axe incident happened in the locker room? I mean, the poor, the punter sliced his leg almost off or whatever.
Yeah,
that was the topic of conversation and jokes inside that locker room for at least a month, right? I mean, things happen and they become a distraction. And having your leader, your discipline guy, be in this situation is not a good look for the football team. It just isn't. And again, staying out of the morality part of it, because that's not, that's his business and that's his family's business. Staying from a football standpoint, it's just not a good look for Urban Meyer.
All right, guys.
Pete, do we need to take a break? Are we going to break? Are we done, JP?
We can be, yeah, unless you got one more thought, Tony.
Go ahead, Tony. One more quick one. I know you got a good one.
Well, I was just going to say, I mean, here's the other thing. I mean, this is human nature, but players are like this. Like, you have to build up credibility, and trust me, Urban has a lot of credibility because of who he is and what he's done and the success. So he has a lot of credibility. But I do think that takes a hit when you do something that is against what you are preaching to your team. I mean, no different than as a player, if I am asking or demanding something from my team as a team leader, but then I do something contrary to what I'm asking them to do, I lose credibility. I mean, that's just human nature. I mean, Pete, you know that. I mean, think of situations you're in, whether it's your boss or a peer that's trying to get you to do something or preaching something to you, and then they go do something that is completely antagonistic to that. I think there's I think credibility is questioned at least. And so
I agree. And next time,
those are all the things that come up. I mean,
next time he calls the players' parents, they're going to be like, wait 1 second, Coach Meyer, you're going to talk to me about this?
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but I would say it differently, Pete. Because you earn credibility by actions and by your track record and what you've done in the past and what you think you do in the future. This is why now, in my opinion, winning, you want to get rid of this, you want this to go away, you have to win, and you have to beat Tennessee.
One quick thing, JP.
You win this weekend, it's gone.
One quick thing, JP, before you go to break. Yeah. I actually had guys I talked to that were wondering if this wasn't just one way for him to get out of the job. And that's how bad a look it is. I mean, some people ask me that. They said, do you think might be a way for him to actually get out of the job? And I'm like, I don't think so. It's just a bad look. But think about that question being asked after 4 games of a head coach in the NFL. Is this a way for him to get away from his job? Because, walking away is a bad look too.
That's the state of affairs these days. We'll come back in a moment. Plenty ahead. We will touch on the Thursday night football loss as well for the Jaguars, their 4th of this season and 19th in a row. Recap that ball game. They had it in hand and let it slip away in the second half. In the second hour, we'll get to your social media questions and plenty more ahead. This is Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by Dreamfinders Homes, homes that fit your lifestyle. And by Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com. Jaguars fans, Corona Extra is giving you the chance to win big. Be one of 3 winners to receive a VIP game day experience complete with limo transportation, a Jacksonville staycation, and tickets to the Jaguars home game Sunday, November 28th. Enter for your chance to win at jaguars.com/Corona. Must be 21 years of age or older. See full rules for details. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
I'm Chantel Chark, wife of DJ Chark. My husband is always prepared with a game day plan, and so am I. I'm always looking for easy ways to save time, and Publix helps me tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, assorted varieties and sizes of Pantene, Head & Shoulders, Herbal Essences, and Aussie hair care items are $2 off when you purchase 2.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, I thought the guys did a good job. Played a lot of different guys tonight, especially a receiver and tight end. thought everybody was prepared. Everybody was prepared and made the play when they needed to. So I thought we did a good job on that end. Yeah, I thought the guys did a good job stepping up when we lost. Great player in DJ. Obviously, that hurts. I love DJ. It's my guy. So not just because he's a great player, but that sucks just seeing him going through that. But yeah.
That's Trevor Lawrence, Jaguars quarterback after the Jags loss on Thursday Night Football in Cincinnati. And welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Glad you're along with us today. Jaguars are 0-4. Their most recent was the Thursday Night Football loss, 24-21. Led 14-zip at halftime. We're all still shaking our heads after that one. The goal line situation before half didn't go the right way. Couldn't get up 3 scores, missed the touchdown opportunity, and then lost that lead altogether. The offense rallied back, though, and had a big boy drive, actually, after that to make it a 21-14 game. The defense just couldn't get off the field in the second half. And, in fact, they didn't at all. They scored on all 4 drives, the Bengals did, and outscored the Jaguars in the second half 24-7. Pete, it was another collapse in the second half, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was not a good look. Look, let's go back to the play call at the end of the half. Hated it. Just absolutely hated it. I don't mind being aggressive if you want to go for it. I was split either way. I said, okay, this is a bad team. You're trying to win a game on the road. I understand where you could come from that standpoint. I probably would have kicked the field goal. But if you're going for it from the inch line, you got a 6'6" quarterback. Take the snap under center, sneak the ball, push him forward, and get the touchdown. If you're not going to do that, then turn and hand the ball off to Robinson behind the left side of the line. Let him push people right back and then try and get the touchdown that way. Running that play from the shotgun, I mean, that was just absurd. It was a terrible call. I don't care how it worked out on the field a couple times. It just was a terrible decision. And Urban said it was supposed to pitch it to Robinson.
Yeah.
And if you pitched it to Robinson, he was going to be in a one-on-one. I watched it today. He was going to be in a one-on-one situation with the safety. Does he win? Maybe. Does he not? I think the easiest thing to do, you have a 6'6" quarterback sneak it.
So, I mean, I think, at the moment I said go for it, because when you're 0-3 and things aren't going your way, you feel like, hey, we need to just put a nail in the coffin. And I felt like if you get a touchdown there, it's probably over. I mean, or it's pretty close to being over. Looking back, you could argue the field goal is the best, just because makes it a 3-possession game, meaning getting coming back from down 3 possessions in the way that game was going might have been difficult. With that said, I'm not going to kill him for going for it, because I said go for it at the time. I don't understand when you're on the half-yard line why you would run a play where your quarterback or the runner is going parallel to the line of scrimmage. So either one or two plays, quarterback sneak or give it to James Robinson, right over the, in either A gap. Because tell me the last time James Robinson has been tackled for less than a foot.
It doesn't happen much. You're right.
Like never. And so either of those calls I'd be fine with. I'm with you, Pete. Didn't love the call. Play call. Going for it, I'm good with that.
What if they had kicked? Would you have been upset about that?
It's 3 scores.
In the moment, I might have said, I'd have been more aggressive. But looking back, no, it's a 3-possession game. I think I'd be fine.
Yeah, that was hard when I usually, me, I'm always about being aggressive. But I think in that scenario, either way they played it, I was okay with it. I wasn't, but once you ran that play, then I hated the call. But, I'm with you. Give it to Robinson or sneak it. I mean, he's 6'6". You can push him now. The Bush push. Remember, everybody does it now.
I was going to say, though, I mean, they had a new kicker, but he'd already made 2 extra points by that point. So I would guess that wasn't the concern.
No, that was just being aggressive.
Yeah.
That's all that was.
And I'm fine.
Again, 0-3, if you're in a playoff chase and that's a playoff type game, then you kick.
Yeah, I mean, 3 possessions is a lot.
Yeah, and then it changes, of course, when they score early in the second half. Then it's a 10-point game at that point, and then you can the strategy would have been a little bit different in that scenario. But man,
I'll say this though, JP, the feeling I had in the second half, if they needed to go score a touchdown that last time instead of a field goal, like they would have gone and scored. Like our defense had no answers.
They were out of gas
for them in the second half.
Out of
Yeah,
gas.
Did you feel like they could just do whatever they wanted?
Yeah, once the third down pass where he got outside the pocket on when the Jaguars had the ball, he spun it or whatever. There was nothing there, and he scrambled and everything. That was the end of the game right there because they were going to get something.
Yeah, they defense couldn't get off the field. They had the sack, but then the defensive holding early in that final drive for the field goal, and unfortunately the drive continued, and Burrow just kind of stood back there in the second half. The pass rush has got to get home a little bit more effectively when they need
It's
to.
non-existent.
They don't have it right now, Pete.
No, they had the one play I think was when they got everybody out of pass rush when they got the sack.
Yeah.
Everybody was there. And then the rest of the game, nobody was there. I don't. Josh Allen dropped 10 times, I think, in the game, if I'm not mistaken, in the coverage. I don't like that.
I mean, it's a 3-4 defense, right, Pete? That's what you get when you go to 3-4 sometimes, right? You got to go cover.
I don't know. I didn't like that. And Chason does nothing. Nothing. Zero. I mean, like.
Well, he's
nothing.
he's basically the fourth linebacker now, outside linebacker. I mean, you got Josh Allen's ahead of him, John Ward's ahead of him, Dwan Smooth is ahead of him, and then Chason.
But they also, but even in those defenses where they slide one of those guys inside, he comes on and he doesn't do anything.
I'm agreeing with you. That's the problem.
So is it too early to use the B word?
It's awful early, Pete.
What's the B word, Pete?
Early.
Just for the record.
Bust.
It is awful early.
awful early.
It's very early.
Well, was it awful early to trade the corner that you drafted in top 10? I mean, it was too early for Chason. It wasn't too early for Henderson.
Well, I said the same thing. I mean, and as usual, I mean, I was watching stuff on the internet. And you got the Panther people just raving at what a great deal they got and how much they loved C.J. Henderson. I'm thinking, watch him go, and then I thought it was too early, and it just, I think when you're losing and things aren't going your way, you look for every little thing. I mean, it's like the Quincy Williams this weekend for the Jets playing like he's,
he was incredible.
all pro.
He was incredible yesterday.
Well,
who is this
he
guy?
also fits what they do a lot better.
I mean, he's flashing all over the field. 56 and green is like flying everywhere.
But doesn't he
running around hitting people and getting sacks? I think you can do in pretty much any defense.
Okay, but if let's just say he was on this team, where would you play him?
Couldn't play him in the middle, right? He's not that big. He's not that big.
Well, yeah, you could. I mean, why couldn't you play him in nickel? Why couldn't you play him in Miles Jack and nickel?
You could. So he'd be the nickel linebacker then. I mean, look, here's the thing. This was a team that talked about doing nothing but trying to get faster, and they cut a fast, speedy linebacker and a fast, speedy receiver who had 3 catches for 90 yards. He averaged 30 yards a catch yesterday. You know who that was, JP?
Keelan Cole. Yeah, big catch in overtime.
Well, they cut him, but he left. But still, why wouldn't you keep him?
I don't know.
The week before, Colin Johnson had 5 catches for the Giants.
He's not a fast guy. He wasn't a fast guy. He was a tall guy, though.
No, he's not a fast guy, but okay, trot out. Who's going to start at wide receiver this week?
It's a good question.
There's two that could be on the field. I mean,
that's where they are right now because DJ Chark's on injured reserve with a fractured ankle, and that's the state of affairs around offense.
Look, one thing that shows up week in and week out, no matter what, is the lack of speed outside. It shows up in the way everybody plays them. And it's going to be a season-long problem. You can't fix it.
You can't fix that now. You got to fix that in the draft and in free agency. You can't fix that right now. No way.
Isn't it the kid we got from the Chargers?
Yeah, he can run. Why doesn't he play?
I mean, he got a couple snaps.
Yeah, Tyron Johnson got some snaps the other day.
Tyron Johnson got a couple snaps. What did he get, like 10, 12 snaps?
Going through it. Yeah, Johnson got 9 snaps, 16% of the snaps, 9 out of 56.
Yeah. Okay, but if DJ Chark doesn't get hurt, how many snaps does he get?
Probably not 9. Yeah, probably not.
So what's the problem with him? Why aren't they getting him on the field?
Well, I mean, Pete, we're not at practice. I mean, all practice is closed. I mean, who knows? And I mean,
Tavon Austin got a
that's
bunch.
question that-
Tavon Austin got 41 of 56 snaps.
Okay, so Tavon Austin will be on the field along with Jones and Chenault, right?
Those are
That's
your
how
three.
they'll probably play it.
Those are your three, yeah, right there. And then the others are Johnson and Agnew now.
You think about the receivers right now. Trot them out for Sunday's game. You have an aging Marvin Jones, who's a good player, but he doesn't run by anybody.
Good route
Chenault,
runner.
who's a physical player who doesn't run by anybody. Mm-hmm. Austin, who's tiny and can run a little bit, but he's been a cast off at different spots. Agnew, who's a converted defensive back and a great return man, but he's not a receiver. I feel sorry sometimes for Trevor Lawrence when he goes back in the pocket to throw to that group.
Well, we'll see what they.
I wouldn't go that far. But I don't know if I feel sorry for him, Pete.
Well, I don't feel sorry. He's making a lot of money playing quarterback in the NFL, so I don't feel sorry. But you know what I mean.
You're being
Relatively
dramatic.
speaking, compared
Let me tell you who did look fast. Let me tell you who did look fast and quick on Thursday night. Dan Arnold, the tight end.
He did.
Tight end. Got upfield quick after the catch. Turn upfield. Got a little burst.
We need to get my man in more play. Let's get him going a little bit.
That
might be our kind of hidden weapon.
Hey, let's come back in a moment. We got plenty ahead. Second hour in a little bit. We'll have social media questions. We'll play Keeping It Real, as we always do. We'll go around the National Football League and hear the best from around week number 4 in the NFL. That's coming up in just a little bit. Check out the official Jaguars Podcast Network. It's free on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you download your pods. Give us that 5-star rating as always, and it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Jaguars Happy Hour is brought to you by TIAA Bank. Turn potential into progress. And by Publix, where shopping is a pleasure. Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
So, it's happy hour. Let's talk whiskey options. Have you tried Citrus Distillers? Have you tried Citrus Distillers Limited Edition 2021 Barrel-Aged Jaguar Whiskey? Did you know it's only available for a limited time and manufactured in Jacksonville? Yes, Jacksonville. I said local whiskey. Try it on the rocks or in a Jack's Whiskey Sour. Citrus Distillers Jaguars Whiskey is available at local liquor stores, restaurants, and the Jaguar Stadium. Drink local, Jacksonville. Find recipes and events at jaguarswhiskey.com.
This is Ice-T, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and
Matty Ice.
This is a cold call.
I convinced NFL teams to turn to cold water washing with Tide.
The NFL, your uniforms get dirty.
Tide can handle it, even in cold. Plus, if fans join in, they can save up to $150 on their energy bill.
Looks like you just made the team, rookie. Turn to cold with Tide. And that's the bottom line.
It's got to be Tide. Energy savings based on average when switching from hot to cold and non-HE machines.
Jaguars fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com. The world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear from all the leagues, teams, and Jaguars players you love. Shop the most trusted brands, exclusive designs by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars. Join Fanatics Rewards today and earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and get today's special offer. Fanatics.com. Officially licensed everything.
Hard Rock Sportsbook is coming to Florida. Join the Seminole Tribe of Florida and Hard Rock for safe, trusted, and completely legal sports betting. Go to hardrocksportsbook.com to get all the latest details leading up to launch. Play remotely from anywhere in Florida, including on your phone or computer or in person at Seminole Casinos. Want great promotions like free bets, odds boosts, and bonuses? Hard Rock Sportsbook will have all your favorite bets and promotions. Hard Rock Sportsbook, the best place to be a Jaguars fan. Coming soon. Must be at least 21 and physically present in Florida to wager. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-800-522-4700.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon after a mini bye week. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. The Jaguars are now 0-4. They will host the Tennessee Titans Sunday at TIAA Bank Field. Big game in a lot of ways for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trying to snap this 19-game losing skid. Trying to snap an 0-4 start. Trying to play better defense in the second half. They've had the last two games. They've let second half leads get away. They had a 9-point lead late in the third quarter on Arizona. Let that one slip away. 7 scrimmage snaps later, it was over. And then last week on Thursday Night Football. So trying to get that going right. They ran the ball a little better last week. The offense in the first half was good. Moved down the field a few times, but just not enough to get that W last Thursday night. And by the way, that was the highest rated Thursday Night Football game in years, Pete.
Yeah, that's weird. I was a little surprised by that. Look, it was actually a pretty good football game. Here's the thing. Arizona went to the Rams and destroyed them on Sunday. Just dominated from start to finish. And Jacksonville led them by 9 late in the game. I mean,
Yep.
Again, they're getting better. They're not good, but they're getting better. And that's, Pete, what?
Pete, what you just did is so dumb. It's so dangerous. Well, we played good against this team.
I didn't say
that team.
I just said they're getting better.
I agree with you getting better, but I don't like comparing one game to another because, one, Arizona comes to the East Coast, plays in Florida.
We're looking ahead.
We're looking ahead. Completely different feel, playing in the same time zone, division rival for the division lead. I mean, 2 different scenarios.
I get it, but they're still a good football team, and you were leading them by 9 in the fourth quarter.
That's great. I didn't say they weren't a good football team. I'm like, I just don't. I get worried when people I think who are smart like you say dumb things, and that was dumb.
That's not dumb. I'm not saying that they're better than Arizona or they competed against a good football team. True or false?
True, but if that's what
Cincinnati
your
a good
is,
team?
Guess what? Yes. Did you lose?
Yeah. They're going to lose a lot. They're going to lose a lot. They don't have talent on that team right now.
I know. I get what you're trying. If you're trying to say they're getting better,
yes,
week 1 to week 4, I agree.
Yes.
But let's not start giving moral victories. They almost beat a team that beat a team.
Well, they got it. That's about all they got right now, Tony, is moral victories because they don't have one in the left-hand column.
It's been a long time. That
streak has started to look more. I don't know. The Titans lost to the Jets yesterday.
I mean, I think I've said from the beginning we'd win a game by Miami.
So
by the end of Miami. So I think they're winning one of the next.
One of the next 2.
So it's Tennessee, and then what?
Hang on, I got it. Tennessee, and then Miami in London, then a bye week, then at Seattle, then home against Buffalo, then at Indy, home against San Francisco, home against Atlanta. That one would tie the Bucks. At the Rams after that. At the Titans.
They could break the record in the new shiny stadium where they're going to play the Super Bowl.
It would break the post-merger record of 26. The actual league record is back in World War II. It's 29 by the Cardinals over a 4-season
keep going.
stretch.
You might keep going through that schedule.
I'm just telling you. At the Rams, so that would be, and then at
27.
the Titans.
28.
Texans at home.
There's your win. They won't get the old streak.
It's not good. I hate that we're even talking about this right now.
Well,
That's
if they
how bad it
don't
is.
win against Tennessee or Miami, they're getting the streak. Wouldn't you agree, Tony?
No, I think they can beat Indy too. I don't think Indy's very good.
No, you're right. They could probably beat them, but
and Atlanta's not very good.
But Atlanta would be the tie. The streak would be tied, wouldn't it, JP?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
Yep.
But you can't sit here and say they're definitively winning any of them.
No.
I can.
Which one? Lock it.
Miami.
In London. At Tottenham Hotspur.
Are you locking that?
Well, I don't have to lock you. Listen, I don't want to get distracted.
That's a no. I'm taking that as a no, Pete. He's not
You
locking
don't
it.
want to get distracted. You just said they're going to win one of the next two.
It's Titan Week, Pete. You can't get distracted from Titan Week.
Okay.
In 1999, you guys must have got distracted 3 times.
Oh my God. Whoa. Wow. Top rope Pete.
Uncalled for.
From the top rope. It is Titans week.
Throw a flag.
Are the receivers going to play this week, Pete, for the Titans, by the way? Julio and Brown are both out.
See, I think there was we'll hold them out for the next game and maybe the next game because those are winnable without them, and we'll get them right for when we really need them. And then they looked up and they were losing they lost to the Jets, and now maybe they have to be forced to play them. You can't lose another game in the division. The Titans looked like they were going to run away with the division after beating the Colts, right? Because the Colts looked like they had problems.
Yeah.
And then one week it just flips, and now the division is wide open again because the Colts won at Miami and they lost to the Jets.
If the Jags win this week, they're right in it.
They should have put that game away early on Sunday. They were down there to go ahead, and he snapped it over the Tannehill's head, and they had to settle for a field goal. I mean, just all these little mistakes that kept biting them in the butt.
Is the biggest issue with those guys in Tennessee, Pete, their offensive line? I haven't watched any tape yet.
Bad. It's bad.
Yeah. I watched opening weekend when they played Arizona, and they looked awful.
Because Lawan got nicked up yesterday again, right, Pete, for a minute? Like he was out for a little bit?
Yesterday he hurt his ankle.
Yeah.
And think about this. In 2 games, you saw the Titans game, the Cardinals game, they got 9 sacks, the Cardinals. Yesterday there were 7, Tony. That's 16 sacks in 2 games. Not good.
Pretty good average. Hell, I don't know what they did in the other games. If it's 16 over 4 games, 4 games good.
Yeah. They're not playing well.
4 a game is bad for an offensive line, good for a defense.
Yeah, that would be what?
A lot.
Yeah, it'd be a ton.
It would be 68 sacks for the year.
That's a lot of sacks, but they've given up more than that too. I think I'll have to look, but yeah, it's just they're not. The right guard is a disaster. Nate Davis, he's playing awful. Juwan's bad. The right tackle's not good. It's just not a good line right now, and that's always been one of their calling cards, particularly over the years in the rivalry, hasn't it? Big, physical, tough offensive line.
Yeah.
Well, it's it's always been the run game, and but they still have that. They're still running the ball. There's not pass protecting. They ran the ball well against the Jets.
Yeah, they did.
Well, if the Jaguars defense can slow down that run game, then this could be the pass rush get right week, Pete. Sounds like.
Well, since they've had so much success slowing down 22 over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
He's pinged off about 18 guys
I think they still play the commercial with Mike Keith yelling 99 yards all over NFL Network. So
what is he? I got to go off the top of your head. He's got to be averaging 150 in like the last 4 games against them.
Well, Pete, how about this year? He's 170 cleared of the next closest guy running the ball in the NFL this year.
Right.
Nick Chubb.
Way ahead.
170.
And he got off to a slow start because he didn't do anything in week 1.
Well, yeah, but when he didn't do anything, he rushed for not doing anything, like 75.
Right. Yeah, they're that's what they want to do. See, the problem is their identity is pound him and play great defense and, take the shots and protect the quarterback. Well, they pound to him. That's working. They're not playing great defense. They don't rush the passer that well. And the line's not holding up on the shots. It's a bad combination.
Hey, by the way, you mentioned Henry. So last year he had 215 and 2 touchdowns here in Jacksonville in Week 14. He had 84 yards in the game before that, early in the year. And then in 2019, 159 and 2 touchdowns in the game in Tennessee, Week 12. Not a great game in Jacksonville, Week 3. Then back in 2018, that was the 238 with 4 touchdowns, including the 99-yard run. That was back in Week 14 of 2018. So it's one big one a year, it seems like.
So he's had 3 200-plus games in the last 3 years?
2.
Is that right?
2 200-yard games, another 159. That's getting after it now. And, I mean, look at this.
Sure
So let's see, 9 touchdowns over the last 3 seasons against this team.
Yeah, he's just dominated them. And you know, you can sit there and say, oh, you're going to stop him, you're going to stop him, you're going to stop him. And then he gets outside, he's got like a 45-yard run running over people. Or a 99-yard
Because he's against little guys outside, he can push them around, or push 3 or 4 of them around. Hey, let's come back in a moment.
The whole idea, and you guys have seen this, don't let them get going. That's the
right.
easiest. And you think that with a bad offensive line, Tony, you wouldn't be able to get going. But they're using him in the passing game, too. They split him out wide sometimes.
Pete, your insight's unbelievable. Don't let him get going. Every defense coordinator known to mankind's tried that. No one's quite figured it out yet.
Okay, so with a bad offensive line, why can't they stop him?
Well, maybe they're good offensive line run blocking. They just don't have the skill set to pass block.
Yeah, I don't know how good a run blocking. They've gotten creative with him. I'll give him credit for that.
Hey, let's come back. We've got plenty ahead. We'll come back with the injuries. An update from Urban Meyer today on that front. A couple of key contributors for the Jaguars, and the kicking situation is still up in the air for this week as well. The Daily's Place schedule coming up. It is busy. It was busy last week. It's going to be busy again coming up this week as well with NF. October 6th, a couple of days from now. Zach Brown Band on the 8th. Alice Cooper, October 9th. Pitbull, October 12th. 3 Doors Down, October 14th. Tickets at dailysplace.com. Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
Pinpoint, the official signage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, helps business decision makers like you maximize the impact of their brand. Your company's identification, advertising, and even the words you use make an impression on your clients. With Pinpoint as your coach, you can make sure it's a good impression. Pinpoint provides the creative design and production services for anything you need to enhance your brand, from custom signage to complete marketing solutions. Step up your game with Pinpoint and create the ultimate brand experience for your clients. Visit experiencepinpoint.com.
The Land Rover Defender story began with the simple thought of creating an exceptionally capable off-road vehicle, becoming the go-anywhere, do-anything all-terrain machine. Today, there's a new Land Rover Defender, the toughest and most advanced Land Rover vehicle ever. From the beginning, Land Rover knew the new Defender was capable of great things. Motor Trend's 2021 SUV of the Year is just the latest example. Test drive the new Land Rover Defender today at Land Rover Jacksonville on Atlantic Boulevard, or go to LandRoverJacksonville.com. Land Rover, above and beyond. We all want to look and feel our best, so why not take the next step with a consultation with Dr. Patrick Basil, board-certified plastic surgeon. Offering a variety of wellness, skincare, and aesthetic treatment options, you can look better, feel more confident, and transform into your best self. They offer the most advanced, innovative treatments in a modern, patient-centered environment. Learn more at TransformJax.com. That's TransformJax.com or call 904-222-6262.
Jags fans, did you know you can ride your bike to every Jaguars home game at TIAA Bank Field and Valley Park it for free? That's right. Stop by our bicycle check-in tent sponsored by Alert Today Florida near Gate 1 at TIAA Bank Field. An on-duty ZenCog bike professional will park your bike and ensure it's secure during the game. When the game is over, return your claim ticket to pick up your bike. For cycling safety tips, visit alerttodayflorida.com. Remember, Alert Today, alive tomorrow, because safety doesn't happen by accident.
Jaguars fans, Corona Extra is giving you the chance to win big. Be one of 3 winners to receive a VIP game day experience complete with limo transportation, a Jacksonville staycation, and tickets to the Jaguars home game Sunday, November 28th. Enter for your chance to win at jaguars.com/Corona. Must be 21 years of age or older. See full rules for details. Please drink responsibly. Corona Extra Beer, imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. A little over 5 minutes left in the opening hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Glad you're along with us on this Monday afternoon as we get ready for Week 5. The Jags and the Tennessee Titans coming up at TIAA Bank Field. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff time. We'll see if the Jaguars can finish a game. They have not been able to do that the last 2 weeks. Have let second-half leads slip away. The offense seems to be improving as the weeks go along, but they're going to be down a couple of key contributors on offense for the foreseeable future. DJ Chark with a broken ankle. He's done for an indefinite amount of time. A.J. Cann, MCL issue. That's what Urban Meyer said today. Don't expect either one of them to be available for a while, according to the head coach, Tony. And you start shuffling around that offensive line that we've talked about all year that has come back now for 3 consecutive opening days. The same group. Cann is out now for a little bit, and let's see if Bartz can step in there and play. And then we've already kind of discussed the receiver issues, Tony.
Well, did they put him on the 3-week IR or the long-term IR? Or do you even have to designate?
I don't think you have to designate. I think you can either leave him and.
But the soonest he can come back is 3 weeks, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. Yep.
So what it does is it makes Will Richardson the swing tackle. The swing guard. And do they only keep 7 up? You know, a lot of teams back in the day would only keep 7 offensive linemen up. You could have.
Well, they activated Walker Little today.
Off the COVID list. So he's
you
the
missed
swing
my
tackle.
point. Is he going to be active game day? He's not. Even when he was off the COVID list, COVID list, he's not been active yet. Do they just make Will Richardson basically your, 5th, or 6th offensive lineman, and Shatley is your center guard? Some teams. Pete, there was games back when I played. We'd only go with 7 guys.
Yeah, and that's probably what to do because Richardson can play tackle, he can play guard. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Or do they bring is Walker Little ready to come up? We have seen nothing from him because we haven't been at practice. Is he ready to come up and play?
Yeah, but like you just mentioned, what would be the point of bringing him up if you got those 2 that can play 2 different spots each?
And they've been in practice the last couple of weeks too. If Little's been on the COVID list, he hadn't been out there.
I didn't say I would. It was a question more than anything.
Yeah. What about Chark? That injury done? He's done for the year, you think?
It depends where the break is, Pete. Is it the non-weight bearing bone, or is it the weight bearing? There's so many intricacies there that I'm not even going to try to speculate because I did not hear exactly what type of break it was, JP. I don't know if you did.
No, Urban didn't.
Well, I can tell you what kind of break it is. It's a bad break for him because he was in a contract year.
Huge. I feel so bad for him because he's out there doing his job, run blocking and doing all that.
He put on the added weight. He's a good run blocker.
Yeah, and he just gets rolled up on from behind, and it just was an awful situation.
It stinks. It stinks.
It does stink, but you don't get paid to run block as a wide receiver.
No, I know. I understand that.
No. My point is, I was addressing both of your guys' issues. I agree. I love seeing a guy like him work. So that wasn't being negative at all. But I was saying what you were saying, Pete. You don't get paid in free agency to be a run blocker. No. So that's where it stinks for him. He was hoping for a big year. He had the big year 2. Did nothing last year and really has not done much this year.
Yeah.
Everyone likes DJ a ton. I know I do. And so you root for guys like that to, get paid and for it to work out. And it looks like he's going to have to, right now, you'd assume he's going to have to take a prove it deal somewhere. Maybe here, 1-year deal and go prove what he can do.
Yeah, it didn't start off great statistically for him here. 22 targets, 7 catches, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns for Chark in the 3 games plus, 9 plays on offense.
Yeah,
that's unfortunate.
Tough deal. Because he's such a good dude. He's such a good dude.
And I thought he was actually going to have a decent game on Thursday. I really did. I thought that was going to be one where he got him going a little bit.
Unfortunately, didn't work out that way. Got to see a couple of new contributors, as we touched on a moment ago. How about the catch by Agnew down the field, Pete? Like, little toe tap at the end, 27-yarder. That was pretty nice for a guy who didn't play receiver.
See, it was a great catch, but I got all caught up in the throw. I mean, my God, that throw was fantastic. I don't know. I mean, you could see him crossing, he wasn't open, and then he puts it in between two guys over there. That was an unbelievable throw. But, yeah, it was a great catch by him, too.
Well, I think that's the one thing that's clear. I mean, it becomes clear to me, or clearer, every week that Trevor Lawrence is the real deal. He makes throws that you're just like, oh, my. Wow. Like, that's like a big boy throw. And that was one of them, that corner route to Agnew, in the window, had to drop it in a window that was so tight. And then give Agnew a ton of credit, to your point, JP, of getting both feet down.
Great play.
Yeah, if there's one thing that's come out of the first 4 games is you need not worry about that quarterback, okay? Don't worry about him. He'll be fine.
Everybody relax. He's going to be okay. He's getting better by the week. That's
Pete,
a good thing. Yes, Tony.
Pete, what'd you think about how they ran him more? I know you were just quite cringing. I like what they did in the game on Thursday night. They moved the pocket. They did some zone read. They did drop back. They got the ball out of his hand quickly. I thought it was Daryl. I thought it was Bevel's best game plan of the
Yeah, but
year.
it's almost like once they got off the script, it kind of went haywire again.
We'll come back and delve into that thought in the second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. Recap the top stories of the day. We'll hear from Trevor Lawrence coming up in just a few moments. We'll play Keeping It Real and get your social media questions. 1 hour down, 1 hour to go. It's Monday, and it's Jaguars Happy Hour presented by Jet Home Loans on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And what's better than saving up to $5,000 in closing costs when you buy or refinance a home? With a ViStar no closing costs mortgage, you'll get a great rate, no hidden fees, and like the name says, no closing costs up to $5,000. If you believe saving money is better, join ViStar. Equal housing opportunity, insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Offer not available on VA and FHA mortgages. For more information, visit ViStarCU.org.
Have you painted yourself for game day and dyed your pet's fur to match? Do you bleed your team's colors and deck your pet out in team gear? Do you plan game day watch parties for fellow sports lovers and their beloved pets? Then you are a rare breed. You are a pet fanatic, equal parts pet obsessed and die-hard sports fan. At Pet Paradise, they're crazy about pets too. The official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Pet Paradise. It's a new day in pet care.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
It's Monday Madness at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
What are you, crazy?
It's not crazy. Pick up the official smoothie of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Duval Delight, for just $2.99 at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
I don't think you're crazy.
Yingling Traditional Lager. The beer for drinkers who know how to tap into their inner eagle and spread their wings. So prepare yourself for takeoff and let your night take flight. When your lips meet that cold, crisp amber lager, there's no looking back. So fly over the radar. Tonight's about the lager, and this lager is all about soaring higher. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings. DJ Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please drink responsibly.
Hi folks, Frank Frangie here to tell you where to find the most authentic Southern Pit barbecue in all of Jacksonville. That's right, Bono's. For 72 years, Bono's has been smoking real pit barbecue right here on the First Coast. smoked for hours, served in minutes, and always cut to order. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at TIAA Bank Field. Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want great barbecue, head to Bono's today. If you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Jacksonville Sports Talk for Jacksonville sports fans. 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
We'll have to regroup a little bit. This one hurts. Just, 14-0 halftime. Come back out and just somehow come up on the wrong side of it. That's tough, but we're going to bounce back. I have no doubt. I know what we're made of. Just seeing how we've handled the first 3 weeks. I know nothing's going to change, but damn, I really want to get a win with these guys because we've been working so hard and put ourselves in a position the last 2 weeks, really. Even against the Broncos had a chance too, and just got to finish. It's collectively, it's everybody. It's not one side of the ball or anything like that. It's just all of us finishing, and we're getting there. I'm not even going to say, it's going to take time, whatever. We're right there, and you guys have seen it the last few weeks, and I have no doubt that this hurts for sure because you work so hard and play primetime Thursday night game, feel like you have it won, and then they go out there and hit the game winner. So it happens, but we're gonna keep working.
Keep working, and welcome back. It's the second hour of Jaguars Happy Hour. That's the quarterback Trevor Lawrence after the Thursday night game, the loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, 24-21 on Thursday Night Football. Now it's on to week number 5. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Biggest news of the day, Jaguars head coach Urban Meyer said he apologized to the team after a social media video and photos of him surfaced over the weekend. Said that a coach should not be a distraction, and now trying to move ahead to this Week 5 game against the Tennessee Titans. We are recapping the Thursday Night Football game, though, 24-21. Defense had issues in the second half. In fact, they did not get off the field. Cincinnati scored on all 4 possessions in the second half and overcame a 14-0 halftime deficit to beat the Jaguars on a last-second field goal. The Jaguars have now dropped 19 consecutive games, tied for the third longest losing streak in NFL history. 29 is the all-time record by the Chicago Cardinals in World War II, and that included the combined Steelers-Cardinals roster in 1944 due to players in military service. That's a long time ago. Since the merger, 26 is the longest losing skid. The Buccaneers, 76 and 77. 19 now for the Jags, trying to snap a 3-game skid against the Tennessee Titans, who come to town with Derrick Henry leading the league in carries and rushing yards, and possibly some receivers coming back from injury a week ago. Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli with us today. A lot to rehash,
hey,
a lot to get ready for, Pete. Yes.
JP, when I covered that 42 team, I remember the coach didn't make the train one trip on the way back. He decided to stay behind and hang out at one of the speakeasies in Chicago.
Man, no.
Pete, you're a terrible
Unbelievable,
person. You know that?
man. Unbelievable.
Well, hey, I made fun of myself by being an old guy covering the 42 team.
You got that right.
And then I just, right? If you can't poke fun at yourself, who can you poke fun at?
Well, it's not, no, it was lighthearted. I appreciate it. But, we talked about it in the first hour. He apologized, said he was a distraction, apologized to his team, apologized to his family, so on and so forth, apologized to organizations. Listen, nothing's going to change this. I shouldn't say that. The best way to change this is just go win a football game. Like, you want this to be behind you, go win a football game. This team needs to win. Speaking to JP's point about the record and how long it is of losing streak, and you want to end that, and they have a chance to do that against a division rival, and it'll all get better if they go win a football game. If they don't, it's just going to continue to meander. And the other thing, as I was listening to JP kind of recap the first hour, my thought when he was talking about Coach Meyer in the press conference today is, and the pictures coming out this weekend, is my only thought was Twitter is undefeated. It is such a, if you get on the wrong side of Twitter, it's an avalanche.
Well, not only that, thank God it wasn't around when I was younger.
Well, I mean the lesson.
Any of us.
I'm not. Well, in the lesson, I mean, I hope if you're a person in the spotlight or a professional athlete or coach, and I'm not saying this, whatever. Again, we talked about this earlier. The morality of it, that side of it, Urban will deal with that with his inner circle. But it's a reminder, Pete. Like there are cameras everywhere. I mean,
everywhere.
and people are looking to get you on camera, and it will end up on Twitter.
Well, not just Twitter; it's just every, whether it's Facebook or YouTube or whatever they want. And we have a whole society that wants to take everybody down a peg.
Yeah,
I mean, they feast. It's like a feeding frenzy. Like vultures on a piece of meat. They just want to take you down and ruin you.
And JP, I hope no one gets me on camera at Daly's place at one of the concerts when I start dancing.
Why do you think I want to go to the couch all the time at Daly's place, man, and hang out? I mean, Tony, you get after it, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but not only that, Tony. It's like because that's out there. Don't put yourself in any bad positions.
Well, I mean, does that mean I can't dance to the concert anymore?
Oh, no, that's just it's hard to watch, but it's not bad. I mean, you got a big giant tree in the middle of the concert dancing. I wouldn't want to be sitting behind you.
Sir, could you move? I can't see the band. You're in the way.
You have to think of it the size of the 9 3/4 helmet. That head would be a problem in front of you in a concert. How big was your helmet, Boselli?
7 7/8.
There is not a chance in hell.
That's still a big head.
You went over 8. That's an 8 head.
Oof. Man.
Maybe it's grown as I've gotten older. 7 7/8.
See, me, when you get older, other than your stomach, you shrink. Your stomach gets bigger, but you shrink down. Like my dad used to be taller than me, and he was standing next to me the other day. He goes, "Oh my God, I'm smaller than you now." And I go, "You shrunk. You're 85. Of course you shrunk."
And shorter than you, that's a big feat.
And he was like 3 inches taller, 2 or 3 inches taller than me.
That means you're going to be short.
I was going to say, what do you have in store, Pete? That's going to be something to see in a few years.
You know what, though? Get me to 85 and I'll worry about the damn thing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. What do you want to see out of Trevor this week against Tennessee? What is the biggest challenge against this Titans defense? I know we're very early in the week. It's Monday. We haven't even got to the Wednesday practice and all that stuff starting yet, Pete. But what do you want to see out of the quarterback this week?
Continued growth, and I think we saw it the other day. I think that was one of his best games. And Tony was spot on about getting him outside the pocket and creating for him. I don't love the runs. I mean, I don't mind a couple here and there. I mean, the shots he took on the goal line in that run, you don't want to – he's a tall, lanky guy, and everybody's coming in and giving him a blast in there. You don't want to see that. I don't. And so I don't mind a few runs and a few of those zone reads and get him outside, throw the football. Like the throw he made to Chenault. Chenault wasn't open, but he threw him open. And he has such a good arm that he got outside the pocket, made the throw down the field. I like that kind of stuff. And I think he's growing each week. And so, yeah, there's this week, this defense is not that good. They're better, but they're not that good. And if you watch the game yesterday, Zach Wilson got outside the pocket, made some throws against him. It took him a while to get going, but he made some throws in the third and fourth quarter against them. So that's something I think that they can do with Trevor this week.
Yeah, before I get to Trevor, I mean, you bring up Zach Wilson. Boy, he has a strong arm, doesn't he?
Oh, he can whip. Yep. He struggles inside the pocket because he's little, Tony. It's funny. And once he gets outside the pocket, he keeps his head up and he makes some nice throws. He can rip it when he gets outside the pocket.
How tall is he, Pete?
They list him at 6'1". He doesn't look like it. When he's in the pocket, he's having a hard time seeing. But, boy, you're right. When he gets outside, he can zip that ball, man.
I mean, to Trevor Lawrence, I mean, JP, I'm like Pete. I want to see if he just continues on the path that he's on. I mean, he's getting better each week. He's making better decisions each week. I thought it was a big step. No turnovers this week. Made good decisions with the football. I just to continue the progression. I got nothing but good things to say about Trevor Lawrence at this point.
You know, JP, when I go back and watch the tape, I always like, when I watch quarterbacks, I always like to see is there a throw or throws where they turned him down instead of taking the shot when the guy's open?
Mm-hmm.
And there weren't a lot of those in this game. Because that bothers me sometimes. Like, I went back and watched Justin Fields last week, and he got murdered. He got destroyed. They dominated him, the offensive line, a couple weeks. But not this past week, but last week. For the third play of the game, he has a shot in the middle of the field, doesn't take it. Later on in the game, he's got a crosser in the middle of the field, doesn't take it. Those bother me. There aren't many of those with Lawrence. There aren't many of those.
Yeah, he'll get it.
There's a little window, he's going to take it.
Tony, is that your beeper? What is that going off? Do you still have
going
one?
back into the 70s, 80s. He's got a beeper now.
That was my cell phone. I had to silence it. I apologize.
Sounded like a beeper like 1985. Wow.
It's my wife. She's wondering how I'm doing. She's very concerned about me.
She's obviously not listening to the radio.
Did you have 3 brats last Monday?
I need to stop eating, that's for sure, on the road.
How many brats? We never got to that. JP said 2 in the over. He took the over. I took the under, but where'd you go?
Dead on the number, I had 2.
2. Wow.
After 4 bags of Frito.
Brutal. Brutal.
I had some Fritos, yes.
Just brutal. Just brutal. Hey, you were on last night, Tony. You were on Sunday Night Football last night. I heard you riding around last night, and we were, we'll get to that game coming up in just a little bit, how it ended. I mean, that was fantastic. But you're all over Westwood now. You're everywhere.
Yeah, I'm doing. I got a good break. I'm not doing much for October, so I'll be at home outside the Jaguar stuff for most of October, which will be nice.
Who'd you work with last night?
Ryan Radke, one of JP Shadrick's old minor league baseball buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard him on the air. Me and JP were talking about him. He's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Great guy. A lot of fun to work with.
Does a great job. We'll get to some highlights of that game coming up in just a little bit when we go around the National Football League. We'll come back in a moment. It's time for Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi, our weekly segment. And it's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. Glad you've joined us today on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
You expect Jags fans to say, Duval. You expect the Beard Stadium's going to be cold, the dogs will be hot, but what you don't expect is an airport hotel with a renovated, inviting lobby, a cool bar, and crowded restaurant, or 10,000 square feet of space just waiting for your next family or business event. At the Crowne Plaza Jacksonville Airport, you should always expect to be surprised. Book online or call 1-877-2-CROWN. That's 1-877-227-6963.
I'm Urban Meyer, head football coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. New Horizons call for renewed vision, enhanced clarity, and an unparalleled willingness to block out the noise and distractions around you and simply focus on achieving greatness. Because getting one step closer to defying everyone's expectations isn't just about waiting for a window of opportunity, it's about creating it for yourself. It's about being a game changer, both on and off the field. And when we say we're all about renewal and achievement in Jacksonville, we mean it. That's why we've chosen to partner with Renewal by Anderson, official window and door replacement company of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Scrubbing soon to a location near you. You know and love the Scrubble Stars at the Town Center, Fleming Island, and Atlantic Beach. Now get ready for 4 new locations scrubbing soon this year, featuring Kernan, San Jose, Racetrack Road, and Oakleaf. Give your car the glitz and glam it deserves at the best car wash in town with free car prep, vacuums, window cleaner, and more. You can also catch us at every Jags home game and cool down at the Scrubby's Misting Arch. Drive in to see us now and in the future at our Scrubbing Soon locations. Scrubbles, trust the bow tie. You'll know quality once you arrive.
Hard Rock Sportsbook is coming to Florida. Join the Seminole Tribe of Florida and Hard Rock for safe, trusted, and completely legal sports betting. Go to hardrocksportsbook.com to get all the latest details leading up to launch. Play remotely from anywhere in Florida, including on your phone or computer or in person at Seminole Casinos. Want great promotions like free bets, odds boosts, and bonuses? Hard Rock Sportsbook will have all your favorite bets and promotions. Hard Rock Sportsbook, the best place to be a Jaguars fan. Coming soon. Must be at least 21 and physically present in Florida to wager. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-800-522-4700.
The station that the Jaguars listen to, 1010XL. Home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. It is Monday afternoon. And it is time now for Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. Our question today, our commentary today, will be about this Jaguars defense coming up this week. The Jags, through the games of yesterday, I should say, not including tonight yet, the game hasn't happened, the Jaguars are 13th in the league in rush defense. Just over 106 yards a game allowed, 13th in the NFL. They are 5th in the league in yards rushing per play allowed, 3.5 yards per play. That's a really good average. How does that stack up against Derrick Henry, who is first in the league in pretty much every category rushing you can think of? How does that stack up this week? Can the Jaguars defense, and how do they slow down Derrick Henry?
You know, me and Tony were talking about this before the show. I thought Devon Hamilton had a really good game on Thursday night. I thought he was getting up the field. He was penetrating. He was splitting doubles. And he looked like the guy Thursday that I thought we would see this season. And I think he's key, obviously, to any time you want to stop the run. And they've actually been pretty decent against the run this year in yards per attempt. You mentioned it, JP. They've been solid. And what's the deal with Robertson Harris? Is he going to be back?
He's coming back. Urban said that today.
Okay, so now you get a guy who's a pretty good run player back, and you have your three top guys in there. I think that's not a problem for them, is the big physical guys, and that's why they got those guys, to stop the run. You would think it would translate to success rushing the passer, but it hasn't done so. But again, penetration key to any running back, particularly with a guy like with Henry. Don't let him get started. Once he gets started and gets that massive body going, I would not want to be a guy coming up out of center field having to face that in the open field. That would, we asked that question one day, Tony. What would you're a violent guy, you played the game, but if you were and you were just an average fan off the street, would you rather go across the middle and try and catch a pass with a safety bearing down on you? Or would you rather be the safety running up to try and tackle Derrick Henry in the open field?
In today's NFL, tackling Derrick Henry would be more treacherous, because at least in today's football, they can't hit you in the head. They just hit you in the body.
Right.
In the old days, I'd rather tackle Derrick Henry, because they could actually try to kill you as you went across the middle of the field.
I mean, I'm telling you, once he pops the line and you're a defensive back and you got him in a one-on-one situation, that's got to be just
and then when he runs it wide, sorry, Tony, when he runs it wide, he's lining up those guys for the stiff arm thing. He can just kind of see him coming, and then they can't get in close enough because he's got it down to a science now of how to just swat him away from him.
Yeah, but I'd rather be stiff arm by him than have to tackle him in the open
Hit
field.
him in the tree trunk legs, right?
I think the key is you have to make him go sideways. And when I say that, he can't get his shoulder pad square and getting downhill on you, because it's like over. And he is shifty enough once he gets up into the line of scrimmage that he can make, and he's going north and south. He's moving, and he has jump cuts, and he has great feet. But if you can get him going lateral early and shuffling early, then you have a chance to come up and stop him.
Penetration.
Yep.
What do they say? Penetration rules the nation. Isn't that what they say?
That's a first for me, but I'll go with it, Pete.
Whatever you say, Pete. So the Jaguars need to slow down Henry. That's priority number one this Sunday when the Jaguars host the Tennessee Titans, and that is Keeping It Real, presented by Woodbridge by Robert Mondavi. Open up a winner today. Real Ingredients, award-winning wine by Robert Mondavi. I haven't got my care package yet. Pete, did you get yours?
No, I have not. I'm still waiting for it.
Tony?
Negative, Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. I have not.
We'll work on that. We said that a month ago as well, but we'll work on that.
The season's going to be over by the time we're working on the care package.
We'll have
from
time
Bobby.
We'll have time
Come on,
to work on it.
we got to call him up. Bobby Mondavi. Hey, this is Prisco. We're Faison, buddy.
from the old country.
Too. He's by JP. Me and Boselli might get a care package. He might not send you one.
Yeah, I might not qualify. We're back in a moment. We've got social media questions, Tony's favorite, and a little later we'll go around the National Football League. Plenty ahead still. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beverage, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Great teams leave it all on the field. But with the powerful towing and payload that Ford F-150 delivers, you can take it all with you, too. No wonder Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck 44 years straight. The 2021 Ford F-150, built for greatness. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too. Former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
I'm Chantel Chark, wife of DJ Chark. My husband is always prepared with a game day plan, and so am I. I'm always looking for easy ways to save time, and Publix helps me tackle everything from pre-game prep to post-game cleanup with prices that are never out of bounds.
This week at Publix, assorted varieties and sizes of Pantene, Head & Shoulders, Herbal Essences, and Aussie hair care items are $2 off when you purchase 2.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Hard Rock Sportsbook is coming to Florida. Join the Seminole Tribe of Florida and Hard Rock for safe, trusted, and completely legal sports betting. Go to hardrocksportsbook.com to get all the latest details leading up to launch. Play remotely from anywhere in Florida, including on your phone or computer or in person at Seminole Casinos. Want great promotions like free bets, odds boosts, and bonuses? Hard Rock Sportsbook will have all your favorite bets and promotions. Hard Rock Sportsbook, the best place to be a Jaguars fan. Coming soon. Must be at least 21 and physically present in Florida to wager. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-800-522-4700.
It's time for sunshine and summer showers, so it's more important than ever to make sure you call Crystal Clean for all your waterproofing needs. Waterproofing can extend the life of your building by keeping water outside where it belongs. And that Florida sun can beat up your business's paint job. Crystal Clean's painting services can bring your building back to life. From waterproofing to painting, schedule Crystal Clean today. Call 904-220-3337 or go to crystalclean.com. You don't have to worry when it's crystal clean.
Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony. Jaguars Today. All Jaguars, all NFL, all the time. 10 to noon weekdays on 1010XL.
Obviously, when you can control the game like we did in the first half, that's really the key. Really going in, it should have been 21-0. Got stuffed right there on the fourth down on the goal line. But still, controlled the game going into halftime. Second half, I don't think we did a great job on offense of holding on to the ball and eating some clock and just moving it. You know, we had a 3-and-out touchdown drive, and then I think after that we got a couple first downs and then had to punt. So, you know, I thought we played better on offense as far as just cleaned up a bunch of things, just turnovers. I thought I did a good job taking care of the ball. Didn't put the ball in harm's way. I thought I used my legs good. I thought the guys up front killed it, honestly. Run game was really good, especially in the first half. Pass protection was awesome. I don't know if there was any sacks. The one it was a holding call, so we ended up getting that back. So did a great job. I mean, we're getting better every week. Obviously, that's heartbreaking, that loss, but we're getting better.
That's Trevor Lawrence getting better on offense, and welcome back. It's Jaguars Happy Hour. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. Tony, you didn't want the moral victory thing, but the quarterback feels some progress with this offense at least. That's a good start. You got to start with him. He's the one slinging the ball around.
Yeah, but listen, I get that you want progress. You want to get better. It's better. That's better than getting worse. Let's be clear about that. I guess my point more than anything is, you got to win ball games. I mean, that's all that matters. Like, nobody's going to feel good about continuing to get better but losing games. That just doesn't fly. I don't think it flies at the organization level.
Yeah, you're right. You want to win game, but would you be okay? Would you be happier if they won that game with Gardner Minshew playing quarterback rather than losing the game than having Trevor Lawrence playing quarterback?
Yeah, here we go, Pete.
Well, I mean, that's the reality of it. It's not about this year.
I understand. It is okay. So you don't think it matters if you lose and you break the all-time record? And I know we have a ways to go to get there, but losing this week, losing 20 straight, that's like rarefied air that you don't want to be breathing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I get it, Tony. As an organization, you don't want to be breathing that. But a lot of those guys, like Trevor Lawrence, wasn't part of it. He's part of it now. He's not part of that.
It doesn't matter, Pete. You want to win ball games. You want to pay off for the hard work.
I want to grow a football team. That's what. If I'm the guy building that thing, I want to grow the football team.
You realize you can do both. You can win and grow. Like, not everyone loses every week and wakes up one day and you are a world champion. Like, there's progression to get there.
Right. I get it. I understand that. But rather than winning a game with a guy that's not going to be here for the building process, you'd rather have the quarterback there.
He's here. Building. But your question is idiotic. He is here.
It's not a question. It's a statement. You were the one that's talking about how important it is to win games. I get it. But it's more important to grow the thing for the future. Much more important.
Winning football games confirms what you're doing and builds confidence, and it is part of the building towards the future.
You're the first one who always says that nothing happens in one season carries over to the next anyways.
Okay.
Well, you agree? We both agreed on that.
I understand, but you have to learn how to win.
Learn how to win a game, Pete.
Okay, but if you win one game and then go on another losing streak, does that make you learn how to win?
No. I'm not saying that.
You got to string together a bunch of them.
Thank you. It took you a while to get there. I didn't think I'd have to spell it out for you.
All I'm saying is it's more important to develop the quarterback this year for next year than it is to win a game. That's all I'm saying. Much more important.
I didn't say a game. What I'm saying is, response to JP, the comment of they're getting better, that rings hollow to people sooner or later. Nobody wants to hear we're getting better and we lose every week. That's all I'm saying.
Fans wise, I get it.
Or player wise. I've been on a team that lost 7 straight or 8 straight under Tom in '95. It was miserable. I would have taken a week just to feel a little bit better. I'm getting worse and winning. Just because losing stinks.
Yeah.
Again, it's not about this year for me, and I'm looking at big picture.
It's easy for you to say you're sitting in South Florida writing articles and you have nothing into it.
Neither do the fans. They're just fans.
I'm talking about the dang players. It matters.
Okay, you want to win. I get it. I understand. You play the game to win. I understand that whole concept. All I'm saying is, in the grand scheme of things, it's more important for the quarterback to develop and people to develop around him for the future than it is to win a game, to break some streak.
Yeah, just stay down there and write your articles, Pete. You have no skin in the game.
You disagree with me?
No, I mean
you think winning a game to break a streak is more important than developing the quarterback for the long run?
When you win the game, you develop everybody, not just the quarterback.
They won one in week 1 last week. Did they develop anybody?
Pete, come on, you're being idiotic.
I'm not being idiotic.
I think you want him to break the streak, Pete. I think you want him to break.
I don't care either way. All I'm saying is, you can't just have tunnel vision on the now. You got to look at the big picture.
You know what? You know what's going to cheer everybody up here, Tony? What, Tony?
Are we going to break right now?
No.
Let's start talking about draft picks.
No, God, no. Jeez. You know what'll cheer everybody up, though? Social media questions. Let's get to them today. We put the bat signal out earlier today. It's been one of those days on social media here.
JP,
yes,
you're not going to be able to. You can't read some of the questions. Let's just put that.
I trust me. I know. At Jag,
I've seen some of them. You can't read them.
Those might or might not make the show. At Jag28 fan feels like we have no playmakers on defense. Should Cisco get some snaps? Maybe his ball hawking abilities can help generate some turnovers. The Jags only have 1 takeaway in 4 games, guys.
You don't rush the passer, you don't get turnovers. It's pretty simple. And by the way, we've kind of been critical of the safety playing back there. He's not been awful. He's not the problem.
Okay. Also, I was having this conversation with someone today. If you had to name it defensive MVP through 4 games, who would it be?
Ooh, man. Is it Wingard?
No.
It might be Wingard.
Jack Griffin's played some good football too at times.
Go look at Wingard's numbers: tackles, interception.
Yeah. Well, it isn't anybody on the defensive line. It isn't the linebackers, and because Miles Jack hasn't played as well.
Here's Wingard's stat line, by the way. He's 3rd on the team in tackles, 26 total tackles, 1 sack, TFL, an interception, a pass defense, and a couple of special teams tackles also.
What is Shaq Griffin's numbers on that stat sheet?
Shaq Griffin. Let's see here. 19 tackles, 3 passes defensed.
Yeah, he's been pretty good.
What about Rayshawn Jenkins?
Rayshawn Jenkins, 21 tackles. That's 4th best on the team. A tackle for loss, a quarterback hit, and 2 passes defensed.
Well, think about it for a second.
Okay. Andrew Wingard is having the most impactful year this year.
But think about it. The guys we're even considering are all in the secondary.
Yeah. The tackles are downfield at that point. That's not a great sign.
But did you listen? I mean, Andrew Wingard, I could make the argument, is the defensive MVP after 4 games.
Isn't that
and you know what? As a guy who was critical of him starting, I'll be the first one to admit he's played better than I expected him to play. Kudos to him.
Cisco got 0 defensive snaps Thursday night, by the way. 0.
Yeah, I'm only bringing up Wingard because people keep on asking for Cisco. I don't think he's better than Wingard right now. Like, Wingard is not the problem.
No, he's not. He's not the problem. The pass rush is the problem. It's pretty simple.
I agree.
Next question from social media today. This is at Duval_45. Through 4 games, Cam Robinson has been a franchise left tackle. Would you like to see more from him or write the check now? Also, he has that 71 in him, always defending his guys who may be getting roughed up or helping guys off the ground. # don't mess with Big Bo.
So I'll say this. I've not watched the tape this week because I actually went to download it Friday, and it wasn't available. I can't remember what happened, and then I had to get ready for the Sunday night game, so I'll try to watch it this week. But watching the first 3 games on tape, watching it live on Thursday night, I think Cam Robinson's playing very well. He is earning his money, and if he continues like this and stays healthy for the next 13 weeks, he's going to make a significant paycheck and a very nice contract. I would not pay him yet. I would make him prove to me as an organization that he can consistently do it week in and week out for the entire year. If he does, and I got to pay an extra 10%, 20% more, I'll pay it. Because right now he is earning everything and he's playing like a franchise left tackle.
I would agree with you. I think and I did watch the tape from Thursday. There were a couple times where what was the one play supposed to be ball out when the guy, the sack, the guy went around him. It looked like they were It was like a 3-step drop, and he went around Cam Robinson. It didn't look like it was on him.
Yeah, I'd have to go watch it again, Pete.
He got bull rushed one time where the guy, I think it was Hubbard, pushed him into the backfield. But other than that, he was solid. He did a nice job. He's earning a contract. Let's put it that way. He's earning, look, Garrett Bowles earned a contract. Here's where you got to be careful, because Garrett Bowles earned a contract last year with a career year, and he's terrible so far this year.
4 sacks.
4 sacks. Yeah, he's been bad. So you got to be careful with guys like this. Is this the contract pay me year and then you regress and go back to the norm? Or is this who he is going forward? He's only going to get better, which is why I agree with Tony. Play it out. Let him play it out.
Our next question from Twitter today, an active place, at BrandoxJax. Our pass rush is lackluster, to say the least. Even when we send the heat on a blitz, they don't get home. What can they do to get some pressure on the quarterback to help our young corners out?
Win.
Well, what young corners? I mean, Jack Griffin is not young, but besides that, I guess they're talking about Tyson Campbell, who continues to have a tough go at it outside. He just does not locate the ball very well. We don't win one-on-one. I mean, that's the bottom line. We don't win one-on-one matchups. And so you got to win. So maybe it's coaching, maybe it's more reps. I don't know what it is. Maybe they're just not good enough, but we don't win.
No, and I'll give you an example. The Tyler Boyd jerk route that he got Damian Wilson on, oh my God. And when you watch it on tape, it's even worse. That takes a little time to run that route. And he stood back there and he just waited. It's they got to be able, and even when he brings pressure, he's right. They seem to get blocked. The only time they won consistently was they all won at one point. I don't know what happened on that play. Remember, everybody had a chance to get that sack. Remember the sack, Tony? Almost everybody had a chance.
I remember exactly what you're talking about.
And then the rest of the game, there was nothing.
Yeah.
Win.
Gotta win. Next question, social media, number 4. Reno Hightower 21. Pete warned us before the season about the lack of speed on the roster, notably the wide receiver and cornerback positions. Can this be corrected in one offseason, or are we still 2+ off seasons away if done right? You warned us, Pete.
Well, I don't know.
Pete, it was addressed to you. You warned us.
Yeah, I don't know if you could correct it in the offseason, but again, we go back to something we both said. Would we have taken the running back with the second first-round pick? Probably not. He's a speedy guy, though. I get why they took him. I probably would have taken the big guy there. Or, by the way, you saw one last night that I considered in that spot, Barmore.
Barmore, he's a good player. He's a good player.
Yeah. Also,
let me tell you else that is pretty good. Is Tyron Shoinka? It was Joe. His name was Joe Tyron.
Yeah, Joe Tryon. Joe
Tryon. But now he goes by Tryon Shoinka.
Yeah, he's really good. He's going to be a star.
He was there when we took Travis Etienne.
You're correct. And there were other guys. And if you wanted to get speed receivers, they were there. Rondell Moore was there if you wanted to get him. I mean, there were guys.
Tryon Shoinka can rush the passer.
He's going to be a star. They couldn't block him in training camp, Tony. And those are good, supposedly good tackles in Tampa. They couldn't block him.
Like, why did he slip so far? And why?
Well, he opted out. He opted out last year, and I think that hurt him a little bit. But again, there were other options. Speed receiver was one of them. Look, Tyson Campbell can run. It's just that's not the problem for him. It's just Tony mentioned he has no ball skills, and that was the problem at Georgia.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I love the other corner more from Georgia, and he's turning out to be a really good player, Stokes, for the Packers. But I think Campbell will be okay. He's got to learn how to play the ball. And sometimes, or if that's his problem for the rest of his career, then you got a major problem.
Well, and the question is that something you can teach, or is that just innate skill?
Good question.
Really good question. Let's get one final question in today from social media. At Brandon Bush 817, it's hard for me Not to be biased, so I ask you guys this. How is Miles Jack playing? The first of 3 weeks, I felt he looked good. He wasn't responsible for the touchdown given up to the Bengals tight end on the sideline, but I feel he wasn't all there Thursday. Your thoughts? What do you think, Pete?
Average. He was average. Let's put it this way. Logan Wilson is better than Miles Jack right now.
Really?
The other linebacker on the Bengals.
The Bengals,
55.
Yeah.
I think he's better than Miles Jack. And Miles Jack needs to pick it up. Miles Jack's a talented guy. For whatever reason, I don't think he's playing to the level I thought he would play. He was fantastic last year. This year, not so much. He's got to pick it up a little bit. Tony, you agree?
He's been a non-event this year. Like, I'm not saying he's playing bad, but
it's not bad. It's just, yeah.
He's not a difference maker.
No.
Well, they had him outside last year in that 4-3, right? So he had some room to maneuver, and I don't remember him calling plays last year. I think he's back to doing that again in the headset. I don't know if that has much to do with it.
They move him around in this, like he's on the line of scrimmage sometimes in those situations. They move him around. He just hasn't been making plays. He's been getting blocked too.
But
and sometimes you can see the frustration too when he missed, like he knows he misses.
JP, you brought up something about he has a sticker, so he's calling the defense, and they purposely 2 years ago he called the defense, and last year they said, hey, we're going to take that off of him, give it to Joe Schobert, and he had his best year. I wonder if it's I wonder if he's just a guy, and this is not speaking good or bad, that he just needs to have a little more freedom and not have so much going on where he's worrying about the defense and calling the defense and everything else, and he can just
play
say,
around
hey, here's
and play.
The defense, go play.
Go play.
I don't know that. I'm speculating. I mean, it'd be interesting to kind of look at that possibly.
All right, there you have it. Social media questions are in. There were plenty of submissions today. These were the best we came up with. Thank you for all the submissions. We appreciate it as always. We're back in a moment. We'll go around the National Football League with audio highlights from some of the great finishes around the National Football League in week number 4. It's Jaguars Happy Hour on the Jaguars Digital Network.
Hi, I'm Tito Beveridge, founder and master distiller at Tito's Handmade Vodka. In 1997, we became the first micro distillery in the state of Texas, and we're still making the same smooth stuff after all these years. We're still cooking in a pot still, working with our dogs by our sides, having fun and tasting batches, and I'm still wearing the same hat, even after all these years. Head over to Tito'sVodka.com to learn more about what else we're doing the same. Cheers. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. Tito'sVodka.com.
Your family isn't like anyone else's. Your home shouldn't be either. At Dreamfinders Homes, you can build the home of your dreams in one of their 30-plus communities in Northeast Florida. Choose from luxury single-family homes or maintenance-free townhomes from the 200s. Dreamfinders specializes in homes built to fit your lifestyle. To find out more, call 904-738-0165 or visit dreamfindershomes.com.
At ViStar, we believe in better. And that means treating people better with friendly, personal service that's kept our members happy since 1952. A smile and personal greeting when you enter the branch, an online or phone chat for those quick questions, and a call center that's open every day. If you believe that great service is better, join ViStar. Visit ViStarCU.org. All loans subject to approval, insured by NCUA.
Healthcare coverage for less? Yes. Now, because of the new healthcare stimulus, you can get better benefits, more coverage, and pay less with a Florida Blue plan. Claim your savings today. Visit floridablue.com/getcovered now. Policies have limitations and exclusions. If you already had health insurance in 2021, speak with an agent to find out how changing plans could impact your deductibles and out-of-pocket maximums. Florida Blue and Health Options Incorporated, DBA Florida Blue HMO, are independent licensees of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association. Need pest control that's safe and actually works? Then look no further than Jaguar's proud partner, Kingfish Pest Control. Kingfish is family-owned and has thousands of 5-star customer reviews for good reason. Their high level of customer care and quality service is off the charts. They're the leaders in pest control technology, using the industry's latest and greatest pest application equipment and products. They'll even email a picture of the technician who'll be coming to your home. Let the pros tackle the pest in your home. Go to kingfishpest.com. That's kingfishpest.com.
Great teams leave it all on the field. But with the powerful towing and payload that Ford F-150 delivers, you can take it all with you, too. No wonder Ford F-Series is America's best-selling truck 44 years straight. The 2021 Ford F-150, built for greatness. Visit your local Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com. Based on 1977 to 2020 calendar year total sales.
When Jaguars news breaks, you'll hear about it first on 1010XL, home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Welcome back, Jaguars Happy Hour on a Monday afternoon. JP Shadrick, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. 15 minutes or so remaining. We're getting ready for week number 5. The Jags and the Tennessee Titans coming up this Sunday. 1 o'clock kickoff time at TIAA Bank Field. Before we go there, let's rewind and look around the National Football League and touch on some of the games yesterday. Starting off, Washington, a winner over the Falcons, 34-30, Pete. How about the football team?
Yeah, Taylor Heineke. He's playing really good football for them right now. I'm worried about that's 4 games in a row their defense has been awful. Jack Del Rio has 4 high-priced, good, top-level talent on that defensive line, and they're having problems playing defense and stopping teams. Why? I don't get it. So that's a concern. But they pulled the game out because Heineke played really well in the fourth quarter.
Let's move along to the Buffalo Bills, a 40-0 winner over the Texans, including this first quarter touchdown pass from Josh Allen. John Murphy had the call on WGR Sports Radio 550 in Buffalo.
Moss off the left shoulder of Josh Allen, the snap. Allen pumps once, punts twice, fires it now, caught by Dawson Knox at the 5, and he goes into the end zone. Touchdown, Buffalo. A double pump fake from Josh Allen. He finally hit Dawson Knox, who went into the end zone for the Buffalo touchdown, a 25-yard strike.
What a day for the Bills. What a disaster for the Houston Texans, Pete.
Yeah, and when you look at Buffalo, they're the third team since the merger to have 2 shutouts in their first 4 games, which is pretty impressive. But look who they played. Roethlisberger, who can't throw the ball down the field. They played Heineke at home. They played Tua, who went out in the first quarter of that game, so they played Brissett. And then they played Davis Mills making his first start on the road.
Right.
We'll know more about Buffalo's defense come Sunday night when they play the Chiefs on the road.
Well, you mentioned Ben Roethlisberger. I know this has nothing to do with the Buffalo game because I agree with you, Pete. They haven't played a very good schedule at this point. They never should have lost to the Steelers opening weekend. No business doing that. But the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger, he's done. Maybe the Packers know what they're doing as far as getting quarterbacks before the franchise guy's done. As someone said, it's always easy to find a quarterback when you don't need a quarterback.
Well, and Tony, that's what somebody said to me yesterday. He goes, should they sit down? They're talking about if you sit down Ben Roethlisberger to play who? Dwayne Haskins or Mason Rudolph? That's not
they don't have anyone else.
That's not going to work.
They should have signed Cam Newton.
But can Cam throw the ball anymore?
Yeah, that's a good question, too.
He's getting up there. The Bears over the Lions, 24-14. Montgomery had 2 rushing touchdowns for the Bears. We move to the Cowboys over the Panthers, 36-28. The Cowboys were trailing at halftime, had a huge third quarter, including this touchdown pass from Dak Prescott. The great Brad Sham with the call on 105.3 The Fan and the Dallas Cowboys Radio Network.
Don't think about what gets you 3. Think about what gets you 6. Prescott in the gun, looking right, pumps, throws it down, caught by Wilson at the 5, spin move, free, strolling in, walking the dog, opening the gate, painting the fence, touchdown, Cedric Wilson.
I turned this game off at halftime, Pete, and then I turned it back on at the end of the third quarter, and all hell had broken loose in Dallas.
Well, they scored that touchdown, and then they got turnovers. Trayvon Diggs had 2 picks. He's playing great football for them, and big props to Dan Quinn. That defense, even without DeMarcus Lawrence, is playing good football, some better than I thought they would play. So they've done a nice job there. And Dak Prescott was on fire yesterday. He's playing really well. They're going to run away with that division. They're the best team in the division, and I didn't think it would play that way. I thought Washington and that defense would be good enough, but the way that defense is playing, I think Dallas is the team to beat for sure.
Hey, Pete, I know Sam Darnold threw 2 picks, and I didn't see the game. Were they bad picks? Because overall, I think Sam Darnold, he's got to be happy, and the Panthers have to be happy what he's done the first 4 games of the season. Obviously, I'm biased. He's an SC guy. But one, it shows what a disaster the Jets were under Gase. And 2, it is just making Joe Brady's star rise even higher. If he fixed Sam Darnold this year and they have a big year, which the Panthers are a good football team. They get Christian McCaffrey once they get Christian McCaffrey back. Joe Brady's going to be head coach next year.
Yeah, Joe Brady's done a good job with Sam Darnold. Makes it easier on him. You know, he ran in twice. He ran for 2 touchdowns yesterday.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, and one of them was a called zone read. I mean, he's done a really good job with him. Sam Darnold made bad throws on those plays, but he was pressing. They're a different offense without McCaffrey. They need him in the lineup. It's an entirely different dynamic defending them. You're right, though. Joe Brady will be a head coach next year.
But Sam Darnold's showing why he was a top 5 pick. I mean,
he's playing well. He's playing well. That team.
And I guess what my point is, Pete, it is so important for young quarterbacks. Where they go can make or break them as far as coaching. And because there are certain coaches who know how to develop and get a young quarterback, to where he needs to be. And there's some coaches who just can't do it.
I agree 100%.
Colts over the Dolphins 27-17, including a fourth-quarter touchdown pass from Carson Wentz to Mo Alley Cox. Matt Taylor had the call on the Fan and 97.1 Hank FM in Indianapolis.
Wentz takes a shotgun snap, steps up in the pocket. He throws it on left flat, and it is a catch, a contested grab for Mo Alley Cox. He just wanted it more in the end zone. Touchdown, I-N-D-Y. Mo Alley Cox, his second receiving score of the game, and the Colts break it open again once more. It is 26-10.
They ended up with a win in Miami, Pete. The Colts got their first win of the season. We've lost Pete. Oh, there he is.
I mean, he does. He's bad, man. He's really bad. But in fairness to him, early in the game, they played it so safe, and then he started making shots down the field. They got to play loose, and they'll be forced to play loose this week. They play Tampa. Right now, Miami has to be one of the bigger disappointments in the league right now. They could be staring 1-4 in the face this week at Tampa.
Ooh, that's a rough one. Browns over the Vikings 14-7. The Giants beat the Saints in overtime with a Saquon Barkley run, 27-21. The Jets, a winner over the Titans in overtime.
Hold on. Go back a second, JP.
Yep.
The Saints with no Drew Brees just ain't quite the Saints anymore, are they?
No, and they have a lot of injuries. I mean, they're down their center. They're down their left tackle. They don't have Michael Thomas. You take all those guys out. And by the way, everybody saw the Taysom Hill runs for touchdown. They didn't show. There was a series. Think about this for a second. Jameis Winston ripped one down the field to, I think it was Callaway, for a 50-yard touchdown pass. But it got called back on a hold. On the very next play, they put Hill in the game and take Winston out, and he tries to throw one down the field and gets picked off. The momentum flipped from that moment on. It was just a bad. They're a weird team, the Saints. I don't know how good they are.
Yeah. Sorry, JP.
No, you're good. Hey, it's an overtime game as we continue our look around the NFL. In the Meadowlands, the Jets and the Titans. The Jets hit a field goal. The Titans had to line up to try to tie it near the end of overtime. Bob Wischusen on the call on the 98.7 ESPN Jets radio network.
And this will be a 49-yard field goal from the right hash. If he misses, the Jets win. Out of the hold of Townsend. The snap clean, the placement down, the kick on the way. Does it have the distance? It floats left. It's no good! It's no good! He pulled it left!
This is the end of the game.
And the Jets win it in overtime on the missed field goal by Bullock. They've got their first win of the season.
They do have their first win, a big one for the Jets. We talked about it earlier. Quincy Williams had a big day. Keelan Cole had a big day for the Jets, and somehow they pull it off.
I looked at Quincy Williams' numbers. He had 13 tackles.
A sack.
Two pressures. He had pressures. He had a couple pass defense.
That's incredible. It's great. Good for him. He's a good kid.
It's like Lawrence Taylor out there.
Yeah.
It's like every week there's a guy. Like last week it was Colin Johnson with his 5 for 50 or whatever he had. And this week it's Keelan Cole and Quincy Williams and Fournette. I mean, I'm not going to get Fournette. You get rid of him. You don't need him.
Some other finals yesterday. Chiefs over the Eagles 42-30. Andy Reid returning. The Cardinals over the Rams 37-20. The Rams, well, the Cardinals are undefeated, Pete, and this team, Jaguars had them
right now.
Jaguars had them beaten by 9 points and couldn't finish the job the other week.
Let me tell you this. They just beat the daylights out of the Rams. Got a touchdown in the final minute. Otherwise, that thing isn't even that close. Kyler Murray's playing great football. They dominated that game from start to finish.
You know, if the Raiders win tonight, and I know we'll get to Monday Night Football in a second. I don't want to steal your thunder, JP.
Thanks.
But there will only be two. There are going to only be 2 undefeated teams in the NFL: the Cardinals and the Raiders. If the Raiders lose, it's the Cardinals all by themselves chasing the Miami Dolphins.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it? When you think about it.
It really is. Some other games: Seahawks over the Niners 28-21. The Ravens all over the Broncos.
Hold on, go back to that game. Garoppolo might never play quarterback again for the 49ers.
Well, don't get fooled by Trey Lance's numbers, though.
You're missing my point. They're going to change the offense. It'll be a different offense. He's going to move around more. You're going to see more. And if they win, forget about those numbers. If they win with Trey Lance, they're never going back to Garoppolo.
Okay, they play at Arizona this week. If they win with Trey Lance, you're correct 100%.
Yep.
Ravens over the Broncos 23-7, and then the Packers with a win over the Steelers at Lambeau. A third quarter Aaron Rodgers touchdown pass, his 420th career touchdown, tying Dan Marino for 6th all-time. Wayne Larrivee on the Packers radio network.
Snap, Rodgers faked to Dillon. Aaron bootlegs right, looking. He dumps it off right side. Got his man in the end zone. Touchdown, right pylon of the end zone. A late throw, and the Packers on the board extend the lead. It is Randall Cobb. They beat Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Packers are 3-1, Pete. They're going to be just fine, I believe.
Yeah, don't worry about them. They play the Bengals this week. That's now suddenly an interesting game. I think they'll whack the Bengals, but that's a big proving game for the Bengals. One thing, let's go back to the Denver game, Baltimore game real quick.
Yeah.
Did you see what they did at the end of that game? I was
Bush
sitting there watching that, and I go, my gosh, how Bush League can you get? You don't do that.
They were
That
trying
was
to go
crap.
after extend the streak of 100-yard
don't
rushing
care.
game. No, that just to explain what everybody, if they missed it, they were trying to extend the streak of consecutive 100-yard rushing games.
My favorite, did you see what Lamar Jackson said? He goes, I don't even know about a record. I don't care about any record. I just want to win a football game. What if Lamar Jackson gets hurt, Pete, doing that? What is John Harbaugh doing?
Why? And what if I was on the other team, I might have put a forearm in somebody's helmet. I'm going home with a couple teeth in my forearm. That was Bush League. You see Fangio got all mad about it. I hate stuff like that. It infuriates me. Take your damn knee and go home. It's just like at the end of a game. Why does starting quarterback stay in a game down 20 throwing passes? That's just absurd. It's stupid.
All right, let's wrap up yesterday. Buccaneers over the Patriots 19-17, and Tom Brady's return, a 56-yard field goal try in the pouring rain from Patriots kicker Nick Folk. Ryan Radke had the national radio call on Westwood One.
This will be a 56-yard attempt, which would match the career high of Folk. He's 27 of 45 in his career from 50-plus. Joe Cardona will snap it. Jake Bailey to hold. Here's the snap, ball down. The kick from Folk is on the way. End over end, and it is no good. It bangs off the upright with 55 seconds to go, and the Buccaneers will take over.
And they won the game. Tony Boselli, you were sitting right next to Ryan Radke there. What a game that was.
No reaction from the booth? Nothing. Oh, he missed it. Nothing?
You're not supposed to, Pete. Professional analysts on the radio
That's
on a
right.
big call, you let the play-by-play call it and let it breathe, because so that way they can have highlights like that, so you don't have me screaming in the background
Right.
something stupid.
Real quick.
JP, am I right? JP?
You're right, Tony. It's time for Monday Night Football, an AFC West Division showdown at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Through 3 weeks, the Raiders have the top total offense in football. With quarterback Derrick leading the league in passing yardage, they'll take that undefeated record on the road to SoFi to face the Chargers' second-year quarterback and Pete's guy, Justin Herbert. Who you got tonight, quickly?
High scoring, I'll take the Chargers.
Raiders. Just win, baby. Raiders.
Hey, by the way, Gus Bradley, kudos, buddy. He's done a great job with that defense.
They were the worst defense in the history of the NFL last year.
They're getting better. Gus Bradley, Greg Olson's out there, too. That'll do it for our program today. Joe Fortunato, Brent Reber on our production crew, Pete Prisco, Tony Boselli. I'm JP Shadrick. Catch you next time. Jaguars Happy Hour.